Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox. I would like to welcome you to the Sunday Book Review. The Sunday Book Review is the series where I discuss books which impact the compliance practitioner, the legal professional, and the business professional. I hope you will enjoy this episode. This week, top books on history from 2023. Welcome, everyone, to the Sunday Book Review. This is Tom Fox, and this week we're looking at 4 top books on history as reported by the Financial Times on their top 10 list. First up, Bismarck's War, the Franco-Prussian War and the Making of Modern Europe by Rachel Chrastil. Among the conflicts that convulsed Europe during the 19th century, none was more startling and consequential than the Franco-Prussian War of 1870-71. Deliberately engineered by Prussian Chancellor Bismarck, the war succeeded in shattering French supremacy, deposing Napoleon III, setting the stage for the Third Republic in France, and uniting a German empire. In this story, the author chronicles the events on the battles, but also shows how the war reshaped and blurred boundaries between civilian and soldier fighting across Europe. Next up, Revolutionary Spring, Europe Aflame and the Fight for the New World in 1848-1849 by Christopher Clark. As history, the uprisings of 1848 are long overshadowed by the French Revolution and the Russian revolutions. Yet, in 1848, nearly all of Europe was aflame. Meticulously researched, elegantly written, filled with a cast of charismatic characters, the author offers a new understanding, of 1848 that suggests chilling parallels to the present moment. Looking back at the revolutions from the end of the first quarter of the 21st century, it is not impossible to be struck by the renaissances. If a revolution is coming for us, he intones, it may look like 1848. Chilling words indeed, and something that every American needs to consider, particularly with the upcoming election. Next up, a harrowing book entitled The Lumumba Plot, The Secret History of the CIA and a Cold War Assassination by Stuart Reid. It was supposed to be a cause for jubilation, Congo being set free by Belgium. Yet within a year, everything would unravel. The CIA plotted to kill Patrice Lumumba, and he would be deposed and then beaten to death. A young, ambitious military officer, Joseph Matutu, who had sworn fealty to Lumumba, would seize power and hold it for more than 3 decades, entering a phase of incredible corruption in the Congo. And finally, 18 Days in October, the Yom Kippur War and How It Created the Modern Middle East by Kaufman. I can't think of a more timely book for Americans to consider than this book. It's the 50th anniversary of the Yom Kippur War, and of course, now we have the Israeli-Hamas war going. The Yom Kippur War can be seen as a pivotal victory for Israel. After being nearly routed, the Israeli defense forces clawed their way back to threaten Cairo and Damascus. Yet in the war's aftermath, both sides had to accept unwelcome truce. And that may be playing out again in the current conflict between Israel and Hamas. I hope you'll enjoy one or more of these great books as recommended by the Financial Times. We've cited to the full list in the show notes. I'd like to tell you about 2 new podcasts on the Compliance Podcast Network. The first is Adventures in Compliance. Yes, I am doing the entire Sherlock Holmes oeuvre of every short story and novel on the Compliance Podcast Network. We've gone through the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and we are now in the memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. For the month of December, on 1 Month to a More Effective Compliance program, we're discussing data-driven compliance, which is a podcast where I look at the use of data in compliance programs. This is perhaps the most cutting-edge podcast I have going right now, and if you're interested in how data can be used, how to structure a data analytics program, what tools are available out there for you, and how compliance practitioners are using data, this is certainly the podcast for you. So check out 1 month to a more effective compliance program through data-driven compliance. The Sunday Book Review is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.